Hello all, welcome back to my channel, Ramya Kondrazu Vlogs Andy. As I had already promised to take up interesting and useful concepts of psychology and explain them in a series of videos, I'm here today with the first video of psychology. And the first concept which I'm going to explain about is intelligence. So what is intelligence? Intelligence has been defined by many psychologists in many ways, but the definition which is considered by many psychologists is as follows. Intelligence is defined as the aggregate or global capacity of the individual to act purposefully, to think rationally, and to deal effectively with his or her environment. Here I would like to explain three phrases. To act purposefully means if a person behaves or acts in a certain way, the person should have a particular intention or purpose out of it. He cannot behave or act without any purpose, right? And to think rationally means a person has to think logically all the time. A person cannot think illogical. Means he cannot have any illogical thoughts. Illogical thinking means a thinking which has no proof, which has no sensory information. It is purely imagination. So a person's thinking should be based out of rationality. He cannot have illogical thoughts. He should always think in a logical manner. And to deal effectively with his or her environment. It means that, see, in the environment we have many stimulus present in the environment. So when the conditions of the environment changes around us, a person should be able to be adaptive in the sense that a person should be able to adapt to the environment. He cannot deny the changes that are happening in the environment. Instead, he or she should be adaptive to the environment. It is called as dealing effectively with his or her environment. After understanding the concept of intelligence, now we are moving ahead towards understanding one of the important theories of intelligence, which was postulated by Howard Gardner, and the theory is known as Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. So who was this Howard Gardner? Howard Gardner was born in 1943. He joined Harvard University to make a career in law, where he met Erik Erikson, who was a famous psychologist at that time, as his tutor. The two met when Gardner took courses from and was guided by Erikson during his time at Harvard. Gardner also stated that Erikson's mentorship sealed his ambition to be a scholar. So now moving back to the Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences, according to Gardner, intelligence to qualify as a particular capacity was considered consisting of 9 specific criteria, or we can say that he considered intelligence as a combination of 9 particular or specific criteria which were drawn from the multiple perspectives such as biological sciences, logical analysis, developmental psychology, experimental psychology, and psychometrics. And the 9 specific criteria are as follows. First is linguistic intelligence, logical mathematical intelligence, musical intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, spatial intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, naturalistic intelligence, existential intelligence. So now, let us understand what is this linguistic intelligence. This intelligence includes the ability to effectively use language to express oneself. This intelligence has to do with words, spoken or written. People with high verbal linguistic intelligence, they display a facility with words and languages. They are very good at reading, writing, telling stories and memorizing words along with dates. Those with verbal linguistic intelligence learn foreign languages very easily as they have high verbal memory and recall and an ability to understand and manipulate syntax and structure. So, and the careers that suit best with this kind of intelligence include writers, lawyers, policemen, philosophers, journalists, politicians, poets, and teachers. So basically, in this kind of intelligence, the people are very good at words. They can remember the words well. They can understand the words well. They can use the words properly. So, and hence the profession which makes use of all these features are writers, lawyers, policemen, philosophers, journalists, politicians, poets, and teachers. Now let's move on to logical and mathematical intelligence. The people who have good or high logical mathematical intelligence have the capacity to analyze problems logically, carry out mathematical operations, and investigate issues scientifically. So also they have mathematical ability and reasoning capabilities. They can recognize abstract patterns, scientific thinking and investigation, and the ability to perform complex calculations. Logical mathematical intelligence strongly correlates with the concept of intelligence or IQ. We will learn about the concept of IQ in the subsequent classes, and the careers which suit best with this kind of intelligence include scientists, physicists, mathematicians, engineers, doctors, economists, and philosophers. Now we are moving ahead towards musical intelligence. Musical intelligence, the people who have musical intelligence involve skill in the performance, composition, and appreciation of musical patterns. It encompasses the capacity to recognize and compose musical pitches, tones, and rhythms. And this area has to do with sensitivity to sounds, rhythms, tones, and music. People with a high musical intelligence normally have good pitch and may even have extended pitch and are able to sing, play musical instruments, and compose music. Language skills are typically highly developed in those whose base intelligence is musical. They have sensitivity to rhythm, pitch, meter, tone, melody. The careers that suit best with the people who have a musical intelligence can be instrumentalists, singers, orators, writers, and composers. Now, let's understand what is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. It includes the potential of using one's whole body or parts of the body to solve problems. It is the ability to use mental abilities to coordinate bodily movements. It means that the people who have high bodily kinesthetic intelligence, they use their body or parts of their body and they coordinate their mental abilities to bodily movements to solve the problems. So people who have high bodily kinetic intelligence should learn better by involving muscular movements. They may enjoy acting or performing, and in general they are good at building and making things. So they often learn best by doing something physically. So the people who have this high bodily kinesthetic intelligence, their careers are athletes, dancers, musicians, actors, surgeons, doctors, builders, police officers, and soldiers. It means that these people use their body to solve the problems in their life, they just coordinate the mental abilities with the bodily movements. Now we are going to learn about spatial intelligence. Spatial intelligence involves the potential for recognizing and manipulating the patterns of both wide spaces and also confined spaces. Right. So the example of the people with high spatial intelligence who can recognize the manipulate the patterns of wide spaces are such as pilots and navigators, and the examples of confined spaces are sculptors, architects, or championship chess players. And this area deals with spatial judgment and the ability to visualize with the mind's eye. So, spatial intelligence is the intelligence of a person who can use the mind's eye, and they can recognize and manipulate the patterns of both wide spaces and confined spaces. And the people who have high in this intelligence, for them the careers which suit the best are artists, designers, championship chess players, and architects. Now we are going to learn about interpersonal intelligence. What is this interpersonal intelligence? This intelligence is concerned with the capacity to understand the intentions, motivations, and the desires of other people. It allows people to work effectively with others. This area has to do with interaction with others. So people who have a high interpersonal intelligence, they are extroverts, characterized by their sensitivity to others' moods, feelings, temperaments, and motivations, and their ability to cooperate in order to work as part of a group. They communicate effectively and empathize easily with others, and may be either leaders or followers. They learn best by working with others and often enjoy discussions and debates with others. The people who have high interpersonal intelligence and the careers which suit them the best are salesmen or saleswomen, politicians, managers, teachers, and social workers. Now we are moving ahead to understand intrapersonal intelligence. It is a kind of intelligence which entails the capacity to understand oneself, to appreciate one's feelings, fears, and motivations. It involves having an effective working model of ourselves and to be able to use such information to regulate our life. Intrapersonal means within a person. Interpersonal means between two people or two persons. So, intrapersonal intelligence has to do with introspective and self-reflective capacities. People with intrapersonal intelligences are intuitive and they are introverts. They are skillful at understanding their own feelings and motivations. They refer to have a deeper understanding of the self, what are their thoughts, weaknesses, and what makes them unique, and they can predict their own reactions or emotions. The people who have high intrapersonal intelligence, for them the careers which suit the best are psychologists, lawyers, writers. Next, we are moving ahead towards naturalistic intelligence. The people who have this high intelligence has to do with nature, nurturing, and relating information to one's natural surroundings. Such a person demonstrates expertise in recognition and classification of the numerous species, the flora and fauna of his or her environment. Careers which suit those with this intelligence include naturalists, farmers, and gardeners. Now we are moving ahead towards existential intelligence. It is the last form of intelligence defined by Howard Gardner. It is an ability to contemplate phenomena or questions beyond sensory data. Career which suits those with this intelligence include cosmologists and philosophers. Up till now we have understood what is intelligence, who is Howard Gardner, and what was the theory proposed by him. So now we are moving ahead towards the merits and demerits of Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. The merits are as follows. Howard Gardner's work around multiple intelligences has had a profound impact on thinking and practice in education. His theory has wide implications in the field of teaching and learning. The concept of multiple intelligences can be quite useful in investigating specialized functions or clinical cases of mental these functions. And the demerits or limitations of the Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences are: the major objection to the concept, however, is that an excessive importance is placed on the independence of these intelligences from one another and divides human beings on the basis of a new typology. And the fundamental criticism of this theory is the belief by scholars that each of the 9 multiple intelligences which was described above is in fact a cognitive style rather than a standalone construct. So up till now in this class we have learned about what is intelligence. What I explained about one of the important theories of Howard Gardner, and who was he, and what he postulated, and I explained about the entire theory and with examples, and also I had explained about the merits and demerits of this theory. So this is my first class of on the topic of intelligence. I hope you all have understood this, and I think it is all interesting to you all and useful too. So if you have understood my class, and if it is clear to all of you, and if you liked it, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I will put more videos too on various topics. So yeah, so if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. So I'm just signing off now. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.